Hey there. If you're a central government employee, you've probably been hearing some chatter. Maybe you've seen a few emails about a pretty big change coming to your inbox. Well, today we're going to cut through the noise and break down exactly what this email upgrade is all about. So let's just dive right in.
So, does this look familiar? Yeah, I thought so. A whole bunch of you have been getting this exact message, or something really similar. And when you see a deadline like that, it's totally normal for it to raise some questions. It sounds kind of serious, and well, it is a big deal, but I promise, there's no reason to panic.
So that brings us to the big questions, right? Why now? What is this new platform anyway? And maybe the most important question of all, what do you actually have to do? Don't worry, we're going to tackle all of that, step by step, so by the end of this, you'll know exactly what's going on.
All right, first things first, let's get right into it. What is actually happening here?
Okay, so let's be super clear. This is not just some small software update or a patch. We're talking about a whole new email platform. The National Informatics Center, the NIC, is launching a brand new, way more secure system for every single central government employee.
And what's really interesting is how they're doing it. The NIC is leading the charge for sure, but they've teamed up with the tech company Zoho to actually build the thing. And that's a pretty smart move, right? You get the government's know-how on infrastructure combined with private sector tech expertise. Kind of the best of both worlds.
So you might be thinking, this sounds like a massive project. And it is. So why now? Why go through all this effort? Well, it really boils down to a few critical reasons.
It's all about making government communication more, well, three things: secure, reliable, and robust. I mean, think about it. In the world we live in today, with cyber threats everywhere, protecting sensitive data isn't just a nice to have. It's absolutely non-negotiable.
And to give you a sense of just how big this is, we're not talking about one or two departments. This is a massive scale operation. We're looking at about 1.2 million. That's right, 1.2 million central government employees being moved over to this new system. That's huge.
So who's affected specifically? Well, if your email address ends in @nic.in or @gov.in, this is for you. And there's one little detail. It's for accounts with active mailboxes. So if that's you and you're actively using your email, then yep, you're on the list for this migration.
Okay, so that's the what and the why. But let's get down to brass tacks, the part you're probably most interested in. What do you have to do?
And here's the best part. It's surprisingly simple. Seriously, your main job right now is to just wait. That's it. Keep an eye out for an official email, and it's going to come from a very specific address, emailmigration@nic.in. Pay attention to that one. Inside that email, you'll find everything you need, clear, step-by-step instructions on how to make the switch.
And look, they're not just going to throw you in the deep end. You're not alone in this. If you get stuck, if you have a question, or if something just looks weird, there's a dedicated support system in place. You'll have an email address and a phone number you can reach out to. So help is right there if you need it.
Okay, let's talk about something important. You know how it is with any big change like this? The rumor mill starts churning. And there's one huge concern that keeps popping up, so we need to tackle it head on.
And here it is, the question that's on pretty much everyone's mind. If our email is changing, what about everything else? What about those essential portals we use every single day, like eOffice for our files or Sparrow for appraisals? Are they going to be affected?
The answer is simple, direct, and a huge relief. Absolutely not. No.
Let me just repeat that so it's crystal clear. This email upgrade is its own thing. It's a completely separate project. It has nothing to do with eOffice, Sparrow, or any of those other portals. Your access to them will not change one bit. You can keep using them exactly as you do today. So you can breathe a sigh of relief on that one.
All right, so we know what's happening, why it's happening, and what you need to do. Now, let's look ahead. What's the timeline for all this, and what are the key things to keep in your back pocket?
So, this whole process actually kicked off in 2024, and it's rolling out in phases. So don't be surprised if your colleague gets the email before you or vice versa. Just keep an eye on your inbox. And good news, they're also planning to release training materials and user manuals to make the switch even smoother for everyone. All of this is building towards that final deadline of October 15th, 2025.
Okay, so let's boil it all down. What are the 4 things you absolutely need to remember? 1. You're getting a new, much better, much more secure email system. 2. eOffice and Sparrow are completely safe. They're not going anywhere. 3. Your job is easy. Just wait for that official email.
And 4, if you get stuck, help is just a call or an email away. That's it. Simple, right?
You know, all of this makes you think, doesn't it? As technology just keeps racing forward, what's the next big step going to be for securing our digital government workplace? This email upgrade is a huge, critical step forward, but it's also a reminder that this journey, the journey to being more secure and more efficient, well, that's a journey that never really ends. Something to think about.